I'm your host, Mike Montague, and my guest this week is Brandi Heather. She is author of Return to Play, and you can find her at ampedtraining.com. We're going to talk with her about how to succeed at moving from diversity to inclusion.
I'm using play as my toolkit. So I use it to help connect people. I use it to deconstruct bias. I use it to help people to understand purpose and themselves better. And so then I decided to write the book, because the book becomes the foundation of connecting to more people. And I started with the podcast, and I still have all my, the community of my podcast has become my community internationally. And so actually the first thing that we have to kind of get over is ourselves. We come up against things like, how does your organization play? And people would say, well, we don't play, we work here. And right? Like there's a really clear wall. And actually getting over the wall is my favorite task to do. Because that wall is actually a fear of being seen as anything less than this professional. And so I think some of our greatest societal challenges come from the inability to risk. I have no idea what happened there, but it was unexpected and unfamiliar and unknown, but I kept pressing buttons and somehow I was successful. When you're in that situation, the attitude should be, okay, I do feel this and I'm going to lean into it. Do you mind if I ask? I'm curious about, and I call that curious kindness. Children have it. It's curious kindness. They actually want to know. They're not there to judge, or they're not trying to do something, or say something improperly. They are curiously kind. And I think our attitude needs to be to return to that space, this curious kindness. In play, we can open up conversations to create divergent thinking and solution finding. In the process, we reduce the confines of hierarchy and status, which allows us to address the unwritten rules and expectations which guide all levels of an organization. You will be surprised by the number of staff who will not include their boss in play because they worry about being seen as unprofessional, judgment on performance, or saying and doing something wrong. Addressing those concerns alone opens up a space to address barriers to employee performance, productivity, and engagement. What is really important is that play takes the lead, so we reduce the fight or flight reactions to discussions about performance, productivity, and engagement, and get to the very serious underlying issues that build up so many barriers to connection and moving forward inclusively.
So fantastic. You made my day, Brandi.
Oh.
I'm excited for all the people who are going to benefit from your work and already are benefiting. And I really appreciate the update, but mostly your passion and your willingness to play with it. It's really important.
Thank you so much, Seth. So, if you feel like you want to continue with me on this journey, I would love to hear from you. I've just written a book, which is really magical. My English teachers from every grade and even kindergarten would be totally impressed by the fact that I wrote a book. But if you feel that you would like to continue in the play, this is one of the ways that you can continue to play with me. I had an amazing time creating this book. It is all about finding your play and also kind of taking off some of those bricks that we are carrying around about play.